the last couple pieces of the puzzle. These are the Rough Country 4340 chromoly axle shafts. They're going to be going in there. We also have the central axle disconnect delete with the seals, and these are the Spicer Select U-joints that go with these, and they're actually much larger than the factory ones. I don't know if I can. I don't know, it's hard to see on the video, but they're larger. And went with the Detroit hubs, and we have the, what was that? That was the powertrax no slip installed. That's the part number for that guy. And let's see. That's the chromoly kit. So, yep. So first thing is we need to find the right seal in this kit for the axle seal for in there, because the old axle used to seal in the central axle disconnect in here, and now we're going to be sealing in here just like the other side already is. But yeah, I'm gonna get that seal in there, and I'm gonna put the U-joints into the shafts, put the diff back in, and yeah. And we got the two new seals installed. I don't know why they keep zooming in. Next is we're going to put the carrier back in. So I will be back after that's installed. Alright, so we got the carrier reinstalled. You get a good look at the locker there. Again, that's the powertrax no slip. One thing with these things, they give you a go no go gauge, so you want that to be able to fit like that, but this way that should not be able to go in there, which this does not. And what that's for is so that can push in far enough and release far enough so that the locker functions properly. I've seen videos of guys put these in there and they're like, oh well, it's slightly out of spec, but you know, it's pretty close, and it doesn't end up working. The thing's grenade. But yeah, so next thing's next. I'm going to start assembling the shafts and putting the U-joints in there. So, all right, I'll get back to you guys when I have those put back together. Axle shafts are built and they're installed. It's that side. It's this side. So those are in. The gear oil, and just cover the whole thing when you go to put it in there, because otherwise it could catch a seal and tear it. You want to slide it in as smooth as possible. All right, now I'm going to put these guys on there. These were Detroit Axle Works or something like that. It's an Amazon brand. Supposedly, at least on their listing, it says a 10-year warranty. And I did notice the physical bearing itself is actually larger on these ones. These were 90 bucks for the pair. Machining is excellent. Like I said, I had noticed that the bearing was actually larger, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna get those installed, and that's it. That's it. Wheel bearings are installed. Put a little bit of never sees on there, in case anybody was wondering. With the high steer bracket on there, I'm still using the factory wheel bearing bolts. And as you can see, you still have full thread engagement. And that's one without the spacer in there, so. I gotta put the nuts on here and put the new cotter pins in, brakes, steering, put the diff cover back on, and fill it back up with fluid. But I'm gonna keep after it. Diff cover's installed. It's filled with fluid. Next thing we're going to do is put the new block off plate and gasket for the central axle disconnect, which is this guy right here. So get the gasket off of there, clean that up really good, and put that together. Quick tip is pick yourself up a set of these carbide scrapers for scraping the gaskets off. Used to use a razor blade all the time, and you'd hit like a corner, put a big nick in the razor blade. This thing, you can actually take spots that are high on the surface that you're doing, if it's been hit by something or whatever, you can actually take it right off with it. They come in different widths. I have like a 1/2 inch wide one, it's like 1.5 inches. But yeah, quick tip. Well, if anybody caught what I did wrong before, I went to go put the brake rotors on and realized I put dust shields on backwards on both sides, so I'm gonna fix that quick. And there she is, sitting back on her feet again. Again, we're running Rough Country chromoly 4340 shafts with the Spicer Select U-joints. We're running Rough Country heavy duty ball joints and the Mountain Off-Road high steer with the double shear kit. Detroit Axle Works wheel bearings off of Amazon. And again, my Jeep is sitting on Rubicon Express lift springs and the spring over kit. And I'm running like 3/4 inch boomerang shackles front and rear. I did the test on the front diff to make sure that the powertrax locker is working, and it is. You can kind of see a theme. I went with the Rough Country stuff. I'm also running Rough Country. I can't remember if I think they're 2-inch wheel spacers. I like running the Rough Country stuff, even though a lot of people hate on Rough Country and say they're shit quality. When in all actuality, the Rough Country stuff is not garbage. It's just they try to make stuff at a more affordable price point, and it's harder to use certain materials with their lift stuff. But previous to this, I was running a 4-inch Rough Country lift that I bought new, and I stuffed this thing into a ditch pretty hard and bent one of the leaf springs. They didn't even ask twice and sent me another leaf spring to replace it. So, I mean, you can't beat that warranty. There's basically, as far as I know, there's no other lift company that will just send you another leaf spring. So take that as you will. But that's going to be it for the Jeep for now. The next thing I'm going to tackle is I have a rear wheel bearing that's leaking on the 8.8 that I have swapped in here. So we'll probably get some chromoly shafts ordered up for that. I do not want to run a lunchbox style locker in the rear, only because I daily drive this, and I don't want the squirreliness of the lunchbox locker. I want to run an ox locker for $1,000. So that'll be next. I'm gonna put some money aside and do that when I can. I had to get this front end redone. The ball joints were shot, the U-joints were shot, the steering was clapped out, and it was just spend the money once and not have to do it again, instead of buying cheap factory stuff to put back in and then accidentally blow up a U-joint or something like that in the woods. And I think you've seen, if you've watched any of my other videos, my buddy's YJ, which was locked in the front with stock shafts, actually exploded a U-joint in the front, and it caused the ball joints on one side to completely separate, and we fixed it and were able to drive it out. But I didn't want to have to go through that headache, so I just did it once and got it done. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.